I'm going to be showing you guys how we went from this to this. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I am Judith, and in this video our model has textured skin, so I'm going to be showing you guys how to work on a textured skin. First, we have to clean the face to get a clean canvas. Doing that, we're using the micellar water from Miss Metic. Using that with a cotton pad, we apply on a cotton pad and clean every part of her face because we don't want any dirt on her face. Because she has a textured skin, we're not going into it with so much product, and we're going to be using a lightweight moisturizer. Doing that, we're using the Mismetic moisture portion to do that. This is a perfect moisturizer for someone with textured skin because it's lightweight and it's not going to be too heavy on the skin. So I applied first with a brush and blended in with my hand. I think I missed the clip where I blended in with my hand. Then I went ahead with my Pond's Oil Control Primer to control the oil around her brow area. I usually love my brow area really matte. Then next, I'm going to be going into the skin with a hydrating primer. I don't want to like dry out the skin with a mattifying primer because she has a textured skin. Her skin has like texture already, so I don't want to go into it with a mattifying primer, and I'm avoiding packing too much product on the skin. That is one step you need to pay attention to. Don't pack so much product on the skin when working on the textured skin. It's not going to turn out nice. Dab in your primer with your finger. Next, I'll be going into her skin with this Nuban Beauty on the Glow Liquid Illuminator. I just want to have that shine beneath the foundation, that glow beneath the foundation. I love that for all my look. I apply that with my brush on the high point of her face and take the excesses on the other part of the face. Then go in with my beauty blender because I want to have a really smooth blend. I don't want to have patches of the illuminator. Then for her skin, I'm mixing these two foundation on her skin, the Nuban Beauty in my skin foundation and the L'Oreal True Match foundation to get her perfect shade and her perfect undertone. I apply this with my beauty sponge. When working on a textured skin, it's advisable to use your beauty sponge to apply the product because this gives you an easy blend compared to your brushes. So I take my time to blend in the foundation because I don't want any demarcation on the skin, because my foundation is the base for every other product to stay on, so I don't want to get my base wrong. So if you get your base wrong, trust me, every other product you're almost certain to get it wrong because your base is already wrong. Your foundation where other products are going to stay on is already wrong. So I took my time to blend this foundation and make sure it sits properly into the skin, because anybody with a textured skin, their skin is really complicated to work on, so you need to be very careful and very soft and light-handed on it. So I'm doing cream blush here. I'm using my iMagic lip palette, like the pink in the palette, as my cream blush. I apply that with a brush, then go ahead with my beauty sponge to blend that in. The reason I apply it with the brush is because this just helps to make the blush to sit on the skin properly. I took the excesses on her forehead area and her nose as well, just to give me like extra color on the skin. Then I blend in properly with my beauty blender. I make sure it's well blended. I don't leave patches or harsh lines. Then to contour her face, I'm using the Nuban Beauty in my skin foundation concealer in 049. I prefer to bronze instead of to contouring. To bronze it just gives the face like add warmth to the face, while contouring just gives the face like enhances the structure and give it serious dimension. I just want like a warm feel on the skin. When I'm working on a light skin, I love to bronze instead of contouring. So I place that on the sides of her face and take my time to blend in with a beauty blender. When blending, I take my time. I don't rush it. I do the same thing on the other part of her face. I just take my time to blend in because she also has her frontal on. I don't want my product to ruin the hair she has on. I don't want at the end of the day the part of her hair that's on her face will be looking white and patchy. So I just take my time to blend this and make sure it absorbs properly into the skin. Now when picking a shade to warm the face with, you don't want to go in with a very dark shade. If you go with a very dark shade, the purpose of what you're doing is going to be defeated. To conceal her face, I'm mixing these two shades of Nuban Beauty to conceal her face. This is in 044 and 046. So I mix that properly on the back of my palm, then take a flat brush to place that. I'm trying to like achieve like a triangle shape to give the face a lift. I place that also on her chin, on the bridge of her nose and her forehead area. Every part where I need to be highlighted, basically the high point of her face. So after placing that with a brush, I go in with a small blending brush to blend that first before going into my beauty blender. Doing this, it helps the product to blend properly into the skin and also like spread the products for me before going into it with the beauty blender. If you spread your product before going into the beauty blender, that way it's going to help your beauty blender not to pack your product and not just like not to soak in your product. Your product is still going to be on the skin. So I just blend that and trying to give the face a lift like I'm doing in the video. So if you give the face a lift like this, when you blend in this form, it gives the face a lift and just gives it this perfect V shape. And I'm contouring the nose using the same concealer I used to bronze the face. I just applied a very little quantity, then blend in with my beauty blender. Whenever I'm doing my makeup, I blend. So to highlight under her eyes, I'm highlighting first. I'm setting first with my pressed powder. You're doing that, I'm using my Nuban Beauty in 03, sorry. Then I just blend first before going under it with my powder. And note, when doing this, just make sure you don't pack so much product, because if you do that, it's going to kick the face, and especially when working on a textured skin. So I'm just basically highlighting the sides of her nose to give the face a lift as well. I'm doing that with my concealer, then blending with my beauty sponge. So to set the face under the eyes, I'm using my Nuban Beauty translucent powder in Alabaster, picking very little quantity. This is a translucent powder, so packing so much product, there's actually no points for that. There's no point packing so much product. It's like, because it's a translucent powder, you just need it to set under the eye. So don't pack products, especially when you're working on a textured skin. You don't want to pack products. It's just going to kick the face and it's going to be looking abnormal when you're done with the makeup. Imagine the texture on her skin with so much product on it. It's not going to look nice one bit. It's not going to look nice. So I just set every part of the face where I highlighted with concealer. Now I'm intensifying the contour with a bronzer. Like I'm intensifying the bronzer I did on her skin with a powder. I don't know if you get that. And also doing the same thing on her nose area, making sure I snatch that nose. And now I'm just sealing everything with a powder, setting all over her face. So I'm going to be intensifying the blush with this shade from my eyeshadow palette. I just pick very little quantity. If you pack products, oh my god, you're not going to like it. So just pick little quantity. You can always build up. If it's not enough, you can build up. Just keep building up. So for her brows, I'm going to just be lining her brows, because while I was carving and trimming her brows, I did it very well. So I don't need so much attention on the brows. Like doing the brows is not going to stress me because I already arranged my base perfectly well. So I just filled in the brows like I'm doing in this video. I just sketch it a little bit, fill that in, then brush that, and that's it for the brows. These brows didn't stress me one bit. So great tip to achieving like a perfect brows: don't shave off all the brows she has on. Don't do that. Just trim it and give it like a perfect shape. So when you're trying to do the brows, you just fill that in. So to define the brows, I'm using one of the concealer I used to highlight her face, the darker one from the two I mixed to highlight her face. So doing this, I'm using a flat brush and taking my time to do this. I'm not rushing it because I don't want to ruin the brows, because concealer can ruin or destroy your brows. So I don't want to ruin the brows. That's why I'm taking my time. So after doing that, I'm just going to use my flat brush, no, my blending brush, to blend that area. Then go ahead with a powder to set that area. I use like a light shade of powder to set the brow bone, then use like a darker shade of powder to set the beginning part of the face. So for the eyeshadow, we're going for like a pink eye. So I'm going to be using like a pink base. This is going to just give me the pink eyeshadow I want, like really easy. Because if you're going for like a pink eyeshadow, go for a pink base. If you're going for a dark eyeshadow, go for a dark base. So this is like my lip stain. So I blend that up properly because I don't want any demarcation. I don't want it creasing. After blending that, I just use like an animal hair brush to place the eyeshadow on the lid. This eyeshadow is like really simple. So I just blend that into it on the crease with the orange from the palette. When I'm doing like a matte eyeshadow, it's really easy for me. Like this is like one of the simplest eyeshadow to do. So just place your eyeshadow on the lid and go in with your transition, and trust me, you're done with your eyeshadow, just make sure you blend in properly. So if you just want to add more color, you can add more color, but this is just enough. But I love to do extra, so this is not enough for me. So I'm just going to, you know, blend out the outer corner of the eyes, go under the eyes, smudge the eyes, because I'm not going to leave out that part. So while smudging the eyes, I'm taking it to the outer corner of the eyes, because I want to create like a cat eye illusion. I want to give it that smoked cat eye look. So I'm just smudging under the eyes and taking it to the outer corner of the eyes. I smudged under the eyes with a brown eyeshadow, then went ahead with an orange eyeshadow to blend that in. So I'm using a black eyeshadow, very tiny, with my small blending brush on the outer corner of the eyes, like I'm doing here. So I'm trying to just create a winged eyeshadow, or like a winged liner with my eyeshadow. So I'm trying to create like the whole cat eye illusion thing. Then I used my orange from the palette, the one I used earlier, to blend it out. So at this point, the hairstyle took out the band on her hair. So I'm trying to just fill that in with a contour, leaving no demarcation. So I'm using like a small blending brush to do that, to apply contour on that area. So I use the same concealer I used to bronze her face on that area. Then I use like a powder to dab that side. At this point, if you're not subscribed to my channel, this is the best time to subscribe to my channel. Don't leave my channel without subscribing, guys. So I lined her eyes, my Beyond Beauty gel liner, and went ahead with my powder brush to just seal everything into the skin. Now I'm blending under her eyes, because I just want to take out the excess fallout from the eyeshadow and excesses from the setting powder, the translucent powder I used earlier. So I intensified the blush a little, because I want the blush to like really pop. So I went ahead to do her lips, line with a brown, then use a pink in the middle of the lip and try to, you know, blend it out. So what I'm doing here is just basically trying to blend the lip and giving like a perfect lip. So I'm done with this. I'm going to be using stones on her eye, on the outer corner of the eye. So I'm using my classic lash glue to do that. So this lash glue is just very perfect if you're going to use stones. Buy this lash glue. This is the perfect glue for you. So I apply that, and I said dotting the stone. So I did this, and this is what I did for every part. And that's it for my stone, using my cheek glaze, TM Essential cheek glaze in bubble, to just add little color to the face, and like little liquid glue. Then I went ahead with my classic lip gloss to gloss the lip, and this lip is given. One thing about classic is that they will give you a perfect lip gloss. And guys, this is the finished look of this makeup. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a very big thumbs up if you do. Subscribe to my channel if you're yet to subscribe. Share this video with your friends and anyone who you think might find this video helpful. Turn on the post notification to my post, so you'll be the first to be notified when I post new videos. Guys, share this video with your friends. Share this video with your friends, guys, because sharing is caring. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Guys, check out my other videos as well. I have amazing videos on my channel.